Hi and welcome back to the first game of the new year in the big 2026. I'm Seth Poirier and accompanied with me once again is Lucas Gallon. Lucas, how are you doing today?
Doing pretty good. You know, new year, new me, eh, Seth? You got any New Year's resolutions?
Right now is to see the Wolves men's basketball team get in the playoffs because right now they're sitting at 3-6. You know, they got a lot of work ahead with its next 9 games, trying to get at more, trying to host maybe possibly a playoff game in the next couple of weeks. But first test in front of them, the last Cite Coyotes, crosstown rivals, just not that far from us here at Algonquin is La Cite College. So both these teams played earlier on October 22nd. And it was at La Cite, and Algonquin won that one 81-70. And, you got one team, Algonquin, like you mentioned, trying to fight for a chance to potentially host a playoff match and keep their chances alive for the playoffs. Because right now, they're right there, but they have to keep fighting. You have the La Cite on the other side, who are 0-9. No rhythm so far this year. They got to find a way to get back in the year, and possibly, you never know, they could have a couple teams lose, they win a couple games, and you could see them go. But as of right now, they're last place in the East, and they got a big test in front of them with the Wolves here today.
I was going to say, yeah, for the Wolves, they may be 0-9 here, the La Cite, but it's the new year. We haven't been practicing as much. You never know. This could be either way. Both teams have strong players naturally, but I do want to shout out to Havin Holder. I don't know if he's here tonight, but man, that guy is a beast, sitting in the paint there, denying everything on defense and giving the whole world on offense.
And talk about that last match that they played in October. And after a little bit of technical difficulties, we're back on air. And O Canada is next here at the Jack Doyle Recreational Center here in Ottawa. We'll be right back after the singing of the national anthem.
OCAA basketball matchup. The greatest rivalry in Ottawa basketball. Featuring La Cite Coyotes and your Algonquin Wolves. We would like to remind everyone that your attendance at this event entitles you to athletics and educational setting. We ask that you please show your sportsmanship by positively encouraging the student athletes, respecting the decisions of the coaches and officials, and being considerate of other spectators. At this time, the Algonquin Student Association acknowledges that today's games are taking place on the traditional, unceded, unsurrendered territory of the Anishinaabe Algonquin people. Now, if you're able, please rise and remove your hats for the playing of the national anthem.
And now for the starting lineup for the La Cite Coyotes. Number 7, Samuel Elonga. Number 10, Ricardo Genti. Number 12, Callum Russell. Number 13, Bezderno A. McKeel. And number 20, Saber Bakal. Head coach, Namori Cohn. Now for the starting lineup for the Algonquin College Wolves. Starting at guard, number 3, Sheem Brown. Once again at guard, number 7, Albert Opena. Number 14, Frank Thomas. Number 21, Aiden Galani. And Lucas Gallen's favorite player, number 31, Haven Holder, head coach, Trevor Costello. Lucas, we're going to have a great game here today. Both teams, one team does not want to lose again and keep this losing streak going of 9 games and come here, especially against Algonquin. That's one game that they don't want to lose at all. And for the Wolves, we mentioned it, playoffs are ahead. It's still 9 games, including this one, 8 others, excluding the game against that state, but they still got to find a way to get to where they want to be, because you don't want to finish at the 8th seed and play the number 1 team, right? That's not how you want to do that.
Yeah, you have to play with your heart and your heart in the cards, Seth, because anything can happen here before the playoffs for OCAA. It's anybody's game here, but of course, we're at home. We're always rooting for the Wolves.
And you mentioned Haven Holder as one of the key players for Algonquin. I got number 21 as we see him come on the court right now, Aiden Galani. He's a great player. He's all around, able to shoot the ball, pass it around. And the thing that impresses me the most is his rebounding game. He's averaging 7.8 rebounds a game so far this year. So watch him be excellent on both sides of the floor, on the offensive, defensive side. And the next one, James Texera. He's an awesome player as well for Algonquin. Look for them 3 to really get stuff going for Algonquin. And for La Cite, Callum Russell, great player for this La Cite squad as well as Samuel Ilonga. Both these players are great for this La Cite Wolves team and have been great players so far this year. Ilonga, 9 games this year, averaging 7 points, 4.3 rebounds. So he can get there. And the next one who's on the bench as of right now, but he had 20 points against Algonquin in their game in October, is Daniel Indukumana. So let's see here what we have in store as Algonquin in their all-white uniforms and the La Cite Coyotes in their black and blue uniform. Lucas, great game ahead of us. Battle of Ottawa, game number 2 of the year. In this battle of the 6-1-3, who will win? We'll be telling that answer pretty soon here as Algonquin touches that one as it goes out of bounds. Referees are discussing what it will be here.
Was a holder on the jump ball there. Always want your tallest player on the tip-off, but knocks it out of bounds with that one. His giant arms, look at his lengthy arms. Massive wingspan. I believe we're going to be doing jump ball once more.
Algonquin 1-3 at home and 2-3 away. So they win more away. So let's see here today if they can get a win at home against La Cite. Opena inside, top with the elbow, and that one off the rim and out of bounds. Last touch by Thomas, and La Cite will be on the offensive side for the first time today. We'll see what they have in store.
15 seconds on the clock. La Cite moving down the court right now in the paint.
Bakal. Shot goes off the rim. Rebound by Bakal. Outside on three-point line. Brown. Guarding inside. That one goes up and foul against Holder as La Cite was able to move it from the three-point line inside to get that foul shot here, and that will be Ricardo Genti at the free throw line for the Coyotes here. And he's able to get the first points of this one as Genti, wearing number 10, getting his first shot to fall, his second shot up here.
That was our first point of the match and second coming from these La Cite free throws. It's not the worst thing imaginable. Could have picked it up, gotten 2, but we'll see how this play goes further. We got Brown.
Brown, guarded by Genti here, outside to Thomas. Thomas looking for a screen from Holder. Nice move around Russell, and it will be a foul against La Cite. First foul of this one committed by Callum Russell, and Algonquin down by 2 and 9-10 remaining in the first quarter. Very early in this one as Algonquin looking for the first point here. Thomas to Opena here, inside to Holder. Holder almost getting double teamed there, using his body inside, pushing his way through, foul, and almost able to get the N1 there as Holder goes to the free throw line for the first time here tonight, looking to get Algonquin their first points of the night. Holder, 13.3 points a game, and he's averaging 47.4% from the free throw line as he knocks down his first one and gives Algonquin their first point of this one.
Interesting stat, folks, that I want to talk about. Having Holder, big man, he has 0% three-pointers. He doesn't shoot for threes. He's always sitting there getting dirty, doing the grunt work, trying to get in the mix of things. 2 points here for the Wolves, and La Cite, the match is even.
Genti backing up to get this one, guarded by Opena. Russell takes it from Genti here. Inside the paint to Bakal. And that one able to fall. And that one is good for 2 for La Cite with Brown. Taking it up here for the Wolves. Gulani outside to Thomas. Holder guarded very closely. He puts it up. That one misses. Rebound by Holder. He puts it up once more, and it's another foul. Holder for the second time in a row going back to the free throw line, and he's shaken up as he's grabbing his right knee. Hopefully Holder will be okay there.
It's like if you watch the NBA, you know Wembanyama, Seth? Big man, he's moving fast down the court. The only thing you can do is foul him. You know, you can't stop him. You can't challenge him. He's one of the tallest players in the league. Assuming Holder is the same.
Yeah. Algonquin are 10th in the league in free throw percentage. Hopefully they can keep adding to that tonight. As La Cite, they're 6th in the league in field goal attempts per game with 73.3. So look for them to get a lot of shots off here today. As we mentioned, last matchup was 81-70. Algonquin won by 11. Let's see what today score will be as Holder knocks down his second free throw on his second free throw trip to that line, and La Cite cannot control that, and that's a wasted possession. And that's something I wanted to mention in the pregame show is they got to figure out a way to not do plays like that, because once you do stuff like that, Lucas, look, is give the ball right back to Algonquin, and then Algonquin is able to run down the court in that transition. So one thing Algonquin does very well, they transition very well from the defense to offense. So look for them to able to force those turnovers that you just saw just earlier and able to transition down. Right there, they weren't able to get points out of it, but that's not something you want to do all day for your La Cite. Ilonga outside to Russell. Russell, couple bounces inside, trying to get around Thomas, loses it. Pass it across to Longa. Longa for three. Off the rim. Rebound by Galani. Mentioned Galani, big rebounder for this Wolves team. He forces the third foul against this La Cite team very early.
It's a holding call. Like you said, you got to get that switch in your brain, D to O, O to D. You just have to be there, and if you're not, then that's going to be free possessions, free points.
Alberto Pena for two off the rim. And it will be last touch against Holder. And La Cite takes it right back with Genty here.
Off the foot of Holder. You did not seem happy about that.
Russell and Genty pass it back and forth. And again, that's another pass here that La Cite is making turnovers for themselves. And that's not what you want as Russell subs off for La Cite, and that will be number 3, Lori Igiraneza, who comes in the game for La Cite. Inside the Holder, nice pass to Galani. Galani off the glass for 2. Nice play from Holder to Galani. Able to get the first lead for Algonquin here tonight.
Holder's always able to get 2 or 3 players on him in the paint, so if you just pass it out there as Holder, you can get a nice little point basket attempt there. Whistle's blown.
It will be Algonquin's ball out of bounds on La Cite. Just under 7 minutes here. Still very, very early in this one as Brown's guarded closely by Igaranaza.
Runs past him on the 3 line, passes it off.
Thomas for 3. Not able to hit that one. Lead pass is good for La Cite. Bezderno Imelkar able to knock it down to tie this one back up at 6. Brown thought about sending it to Holder on the post. Galani back to Brown. Brown thought about the 3. Spins around his defender. Inside, Brown goes. Floats it up for 2. Lucas, what a play by Sheen Brown.
You know, there's like the macro plays that you can do if you choose to pass your teammate, but he's trained his individual skill of being able to deke past the players. And as I was saying that, we got a whistle.
Foul against Brown. Brown's not happy with that one. As La Cite will inbound this one in.
8-6 for our Wolves here. Very close game in the first quarter. Ball is out.
Very tight defense by Thomas here on Genty. Genty inside to Emelkar. Genty for 3. And it's good. First 3-pointer of the night goes to Genty and the Coyotes. 9-8. Coyotes take the lead back, almost stolen by Thomas. Iguaraneza floats it up. Off the rim it goes. Opena with the rebound. Inside to Brown. Brown to the rim. Misses that one. Galani puts it up. Off the rim it goes. Cannot be saved from the La Cite player, and it will be La Cite who remains with control. Iguaraneza almost was going to save that one, let it go, as he knew he was getting it right back here, as there will be a substitution here for La Cite, as that will be number 24, Carl Enzaza.
We saw at the end of that play, I think it was Brown. He went a little too fast and he slid out. But, you know, he's still out there on the court. We'll see how this goes. Unable to.
That's the third time we've seen this today from La Cite, where they are able to move it, and then we have a turnover like that here. Let's see if the fourth-year player from Gatineau, Quebec, Carl Inzanze, can do some damage here for La Cite.
These turnovers, man, are going to kill the Wolves. If they keep on letting their turnovers happen, it's going to kill La Cite. It's going to kill the Wolves. You need to minimize the amount of turnovers that you do.
Ilonga can't make that one to fall here. Opena for three. Off the back rim it goes. Galani punches this one out to Brown. Travel call against Aiden Galani. And La Cite takes it over here. 9-8, 4:53 left in the first quarter. And head coach Trevor Costello's not happy with that call, as that three-pointer's up, and it's good for La Cite. Super Bakal knocks it down for the second three-point shot for La Cite. Holder goes a little too fast on that one. Inside to Thomas. Thomas puts it up. No call by the official on that one.
On the three line here, La Cite.
Bakal goes inside, powers his way inside. Galani with the block, and that will be a foul to the free throw line. La Cite.
Little unfortunate, Seth. We saw that no call over there. You know, it was, as a Wolves fan, seeing that travel very tight on the traveling call. I believe he didn't even take a full step before the call was made. But again, the decisions of the official are final. And again, a tight call here. No call on that foul on the offense here, but we'll see how these free throws go. 12-8 for La Cite. Make that 13.
That one falls. That one falls, and Bakal making his team up by 5 with that free throw shot. Brown trying to get it to his teammate here. Thomas to Holder. Holder pushing his way inside. That one goes in and out. And Algonquin has to get a bucket soon. They haven't got one in a while here, as Bakal from three misses off the rim. Holder pushing it up to Thomas. Thomas to Brown. Brown to the rim, off the glass, and it's good. Algonquin needed that, as they get right back in this one, down by 3. Bakal double teamed here by Thomas and Galani. Iguaraneza puts it up and misses that. He steals it from Opena for 3. La Cite misses that one. Bakal picks it up. Iguaraneza
just giving away these possessions with these three-pointers, but the Wolves keep on dropping the ball. We need to be more on the case here. In the paint, goes for the layup. +2.
Thomas with the layup here for Algonquin. 13-12 Algonquin, only down by 1 right here.
On the 3 line.
Genti from 2. Missing that one. It will be a foul call against Algonquin.
Once again, we see one of the staffing for the Wolves here. We talked to him, great guy.
As there will be a timeout called here. And 13-12, La Cite lead by 1. Lucas, I like exactly what's going on here, but La Cite, if they really want to keep themselves in this one, that's 3 turnovers they've had because of bad passes and bad decisions, and teammates not on the same page, so they got to figure out that. If you're Algonquin, you just got to find a way to penetrate that defense, because they're not able to really find a way to get inside that key. a lot of times we're seeing La Cite, especially when Holder's down low with him, it's a double team. They're really, really focused on playing that zone, down low, playing, like, you know, when Sheehan Brown moves it up court, you see him one-on-one, but then when they start passing the ball, they start shifting and they move very well. The thing with Algonquin, they looked like off that last rebound, Opena dribbling it up. He had no idea who was around him, and then he got stolen from EJ Renaza. So they got to figure out a way to do that. But so far, 13-12, both teams getting at it a couple times to the free throw line. But they really got to find a way to get stuff going here as Callum Russell subs back in the game. And number 8, Daniel Indukumana in the game for La Cite here as down low at the baseline. Ulonga will get this one in for La Cite.
I think the way for the Wolves to get more offense, we always have Holder in the key there. We might want to start shooting for some threes here.
Ulonga. Up here to Russell. Russell bouncing it a couple times. That pass not able to connect.
Moving it up the
Chupa
court.
call here. Outside Brown. Thought about the 3. Step back 3. Off the glass. No good. Was going to be rebounded by Bacall and was knocked out by Thomas. And Thomas is called on that foul there. And it will be La Cite at the free throw line once again. And Bacall, who's already up to 6 points in the first quarter, make it 7. Looking to make this one fall for his team, giving his team the lead by 3, and he does that. 7 points on the night, only first quarter for him.
2 minutes, 30 left in the quarter. Brown on the far wing.
Opena, guarded by Ulonga here, 7-on-7, screened by a Holder, goes around the right side. Down low, missing that layup, Opena, rebound by Bacall. Bacall pushing it up here. Samuel Ulonga will take it. He has a bit of room, thought about the 3. To Bacall here, down low, and that will be a travel call against Carl Inzanze as Peter Jokai subs in the game for Algonquin. Really good player here for the Wolves. Let's see what he does here as there's a no call on that screen as Brown's able to get around it as Peter Jokai ran right through the Coyotes player, Russell. Under 2 minutes to go. We'll take it up here, guarded by Peter Jokai. Bacall thought about the 3. From the elbow, off the rim it goes, rebound by Holder. Brown moving up, guarded by Indukumana here. Around the screen, Brown goes. Brown. Peter Jokai on the 3-point line. Inside the Holder, can't get there. And it was last touch by Nzanze. And it will be Algonquin remain possession. One thing you'll realize with Algonquin, we don't do a lot of subs.
No, we keep our great players out here on the court. We want to get them as much uptime as possible. And a nice 3-pointer here for number 12, Peter Jokai.
Peter Jokai making his presence felt early in this one as Algonquin regains the lead, 17-15. As La Cite needs to find a way to get back on the scoreboard.
The 3 line here, moving into the paint.
Nice
Takes the
move
one.
around. And Zanze able to get around the Wolves defenders and getting inside that paint. And tie game here with under 50 seconds to go. That pass cannot connect to Holder as La Cite regains possession here. Ilonga with a push off on Brown inside to Nzaze. Big block by Holder. Rebound by Peter Jokai. Up to Brown. Brown off the glass, missing that one. And it was last touch by Haven Holder. 29.6 seconds here as La Cite looking to push it up here with Russell. Guarded by Brown. Russell making traffic here. And Zanze to Bacall from the elbow in. That one missing the net there.
10 seconds on the clock here.
Opena shooting this one for 2. In and out it goes. 4 seconds. Russell moving it up outside to Nzanze for 3. Yeah! What a shot by Carl Nzanze, putting his team up by 3. La Cité 20, Wolves 17. My big thing, you have to see is the fact that Algonquin seems a little slow out there. I don't know if it's just me, Lucas, but right now the Wolves, they don't seem like they're really playing the type of game that we're used to seeing them play.
I mean, I'd be slow after that three-pointer buzzer beater coming in. But like I said, it's a new year, not as many practices in. They're not as fresh as they are when we first left off, for the new year. My apologies, Seth, but hopefully we'll see them warm up more as the game goes on. I always mention this with Owen. I always mention this with you. The real game starts after that halfway mark.
And for sure, and one thing that we didn't have a chance to mention during the pregame show, Lucas, last time the team played each other, La Cité had a great second quarter, able to score 29 points and only allow Algonquin to score 19, so they were up by 10 in that quarter. But in Algonquin, they were the team that was consistent every quarter, 25 in the first, 19 in the second, 17 in the third, and 20 in the fourth. Algonquin scored 11 points more in the fourth quarter than La Cité, and La Cité in quarter number 3 and quarter number 4 only able to get 13 points in those quarters combined. So second half, they weren't able to get much there as they got to find a way to get something going. Algonquin, La Cité, 2017. We'll see you guys right after this for the second quarter. And we're back for the second quarter of this game as we finish off with a Nzanze buzzer beater. What a play made by him off the glass, off the rim, and we're back at it. Russell moving it up here for La Cité. Genty back in this one. Inside it goes, outside to Nzanze. That one doesn't go. Thomas gets fouled by Bacall.
Yeah, he caught his arm there. But that earlier play there, Holder going to stuff out that two-pointer attempt in the paint. You can't, nothing goes by Holder there. When he's in the paint, he's at home. Getting a throw in here off to Brown. Brown on the far wing.
Brown finds Peter Jokai. Peter Jokai. Thomas here, guarded by Russell. Holder coming in for the screen. Thomas will use it. 10 seconds left on the shot clock. Brown inside, floater up. That one missing. Rebound by Thomas. Thomas puts it up. Off the rim it goes, and it can't get rebounded cleanly by La Cité. Last touch of Genty. And the Wolves, with 13 seconds left on the shot clock, down low on the baseline, will get possession here as Bacall subs off for La Cité. And number 9, Renato Jadot on for the Coyotes.
I think the Wolves will take any day of the week, rather a turnover versus a throw-in. We'll have Opena, number 7, on the throw-in here. Holder sitting with 3 guys on him. More substitutions coming through. Holder's out.
Aiden Galani in for Holder.
Don't know if that's the right play. Holder might be getting tired, but hopefully he gets some rest.
Inside to Brown. Brown can't make that one fall. Rebound can't get cleaned up by La Cité, and Opena will get outside the three-point line with it. Trying to get it to Galani, able to here. Galani, a couple bounces, and he will get called for a second time here tonight on a travel. He's not looking like himself here tonight. Got to find a way to get back in this one.
There was 2 seconds on the shot clock there, Seth. Not much he could have done, but unfortunate travel call there. La Cite at the 3 line, moving into the paint. Deeks one, Deeks the other, still in the
Gets
paint.
blocked by Peter Jokai. Foul called here as La Cite will get another trip at the free throw line. Galani with the foul. And Galani, Holder. Quick break for him as Galani right back to the bench.
Down by 3, the Wolves, 20-17, La Cite. See how these free throws will go.
Genti makes his first one.
It's a little shoddy there. It was bouncing all over the place. I heard Seth, mumble in his voice. See how the second.
Genti, couple bounces. That one's up. And this one's not good. In and out the rim. Peter Jokai with the rebound. Thomas moving up past half court. Nice move around Russell. Peter Jokai out to Opena. Opena for 3. That one's good. That's well needed for Algonquin. 21-20 as Andy Kumana will have it down low. Getting stolen by Brown. Brown, nice move around Russell. Up to Holder. Holder almost able to dunk it on La Cite here. That would have been a nasty dunk by Holder. But that one just off the rim it goes.
It's great offensive awareness there from Brown, seeing Holders all the way up there, seeing him open, and just gives him a nice little bounce pass. Glad Holder got that rest. He really needs it.
Russell, bounce pass to Andy Kumana. Back to Russell. Andy Kumana for 3. Way downtown, missing that one. Holder picks that one up. Up to Thomas here. Thomas to Brown. Brown swinging this one over to Opena for 3. Off the rim it goes. Holder posting up down low. Floats this one up and missing that one as his headband falls off. He throws it out here. Peter Jokai bouncing it off Russell. And that one is going to be a turnover. And Algonquin remains with possession here off Russell's leg. What a play by Peter Jokai as Brown will take a rest here. And that will be PJ Hawkshaw in the game here, as well as number 13, Jahidi Webster. So Brown and Holder out, Webster and Hawkshaw in, as there will be a foul called against Nzanze.
Holder is on the medical bench here, getting his lower left back checked out.
And that's another one, because earlier on this, on one of his foul shots, you saw him as soon as he got fouled, he kind of went down and grabbed that knee. So hopefully he'll be okay, because we saw he's a big presence, big 6'8" forward here. So big presence for this Wolves team.
I can only wish I'm that tall. I lie about my height to be that tall, right? See how this.
You got to do what you got to do. Russell outside here.
Drops the ball.
And that one, Nzanze not able to make that one go, as the Wolves looking to regain the lead. Webster up to Opena. Opena here cuts inside traffic. Nice inside-outside move from 3. And it does not fall here. He had a lot of room, but Opena cannot make that one fall.
Cite on the offense, moving up into the paint.
Genti, and one is good. La Cite keeps putting pressure on this Wolves team here, as it will be 2 substitutions here. Indy Kumana's out, as well as Nzanze. Ilonga's in, as well as Renato Jadot, and we will have a timeout here for the Wolves. We will be right back. 23-20, La Cite lead by 3. And we're back out of the timeout. Algonquin needed time to reset to get ready to defend this La Cite team, who has really been in control most of this game anyways, able to control the ball for the most part, as La Cite, Genty at the free throw line for La Cite. He puts it up and he's good. Webster inbounds it to Opena. Opena here will move it up past half court. Bounce pass gets picked off by Russell. Russell inside. Pass here to Jadot. And that one goes out of play off Genty, as Jadot thought about leaving it for his teammate here. Hawkshaw able to catch this one. Nice move outside off the glass. He puts it up and one for Algonquin. Just what they needed here. Hawkshaw to the free throw line. PJ Hawkshaw, 4.2 points a game, 56% from the line. Let's see here if he has one in store.
You know, silence is golden, Seth, when it comes to these free throws. You know, that's the predisposition that I have. Ball's up.
Rebound by Webster off the miss from Hawkshaw. Hawkshaw got it by Ilonga. Inside goes Thomas. Thomas loses control. Genty, Euro steps, misses his floater shot attempt. He puts it right back up, and that will be a foul. That's something you get taught at a young age when you play basketball, Lucas. You put the ball back up. There's going to be a lot of hands action, hand hitting, and right there you see exactly that. As Genty misses his first floater attempt, he puts that one back up, and it gets a foul called. And Genty at the free throw line once again here for the Coyotes. That's his fifth trip to the line, as his third trip to the line, sorry. This will be his fourth. He's 4 to 5, make that 4 of 6. My math is not good. I'm not a mathematician, as you can tell. Do our best here as Genty knocks down his second one, going 5 of 7 so far here tonight. Brown with Russell running down with him. Brown directing traffic. Nice move inside. He goes around his defender, and that one goes to fall. Webster was there if needed. The Wolves 1 point away from tying this one, with Russell passing half court here.
Down by 1. I believe the last 3 fouls were committed by Peter Jokai here for the Wolves. Not looking too hot. We'll see how the play develops. Speaking of,
ball goes up off the glass. It falls. PJ Hawkshaw giving his team the lead here, 26-25. What a play from Hawkshaw off the glass.
very nice play indeed.
Genty, couple spin move, puts it up. Off the glass it goes. Bacall back in the game. He's going to go around his defender. Peter Jokai's there, and there will be a foul call on Peter Jokai. Trevor Costello does not agree with that one, and I don't think most people do. In the stands, pretty calm in here after that one. I don't know if I agree too much with that one, but it is what it is.
Yeah, make that 4 for Peter Jokai, just like that. You know, very aggressive player. We did see him, you know, slam that player earlier in the play here. Got a little charging action.
And
Holder's back on.
That's a good sign. We talked about that during the intermission from quarter 1 to quarter 2. Holder's a big part of this team, offensively and defensively. I want to say he's more on the offensive side, because he creates, and you mentioned it, that double team, and he creates guys coming in, and he can bounce that pass, which we saw earlier here today to Galani early on in the first quarter. So he's back in. He's looking healthy. Let's see if he can keep it up here as he's getting double teamed here. Brown catches this one as Brown moving it up. Brown driving inside. He floats this one up off the glass. It's good, as La Cite was very, very concerned with Holder, but Brown able to get a two-point lead for the Wolves here.
And that was all Holder there, drawing out 2 players like he always does. He's an all-star player. Speaking of 2 points, goes in the La Cite's favor, 28-28.
Bacall knocking one down. Webster throwing it up to Brown. Brown, him and Russell been guarding each other for a while here, as Holder Inside pass to Hawkshaw, falls. Holder falls to the ground to get it. Hawkshaw gets that ball knocked out. Webster can't get that one to fall off the glass. He puts it up. He gets the foul, but that was an easy layup that Webster's got to make. He's inside by himself. That's got to be something he can do after he gets that rebound. At least he's to the free throw line.
I'm surprised the Holder, even with falling down, was able to retrieve the ball after that. But, at least we get some free throws after it. Should have been up 30 now, but, alas, we will take a free throw or two. That's the first one, 29-28 for the Wolves.
Webster played in, this is his 8th game this year, averaging 2.1 points, 2 rebounds, and 53.8% from the field as the second one missed, but Hawkshaw with the rebound. Hawkshaw giving it to Brown here. Brown thought about giving it to Holder. He's trying to get around Russell. Step back. Jumper is no good here as Russell with the rebound. Up to Bacall. Back to Russell. Russell, nice move outside.
Oh.
Trying to get to the rim and is blocked by Holder. Hawkshaw gets fouled there by Lunga. And I think Holder heard me say that he's more on the offensive side, a little more for the Wolves team, but he's good on both sides. He just gets that presence on the offensive side and creates really a lot of hassle for the opponents. But if you look at my defensive side, when you're 6'8", you have very long arms. Your wingspan's very long. You can't, when you try to drive in like that, try to do layups like that, Holder's going to be there all day.
Yeah, I would pay good money to have him on my fantasy team, Seth. Top pick right there, number 1 draft pick. He's always there in the play when you need him. He's always on the defense, always on the offense. Second free throw, 30-28. Ball's up.
Hawkshaw, second one, bouncing around, and it falls for the Wolves. As you see the Wolves on defense, changing it up and going a little more aggressive here as they back out of it. Hand off to Genti. Genti guarded by Opena. Nice dribble moves here as Bacall takes outside, puts it up off the glass, and good. That's back-to-back buckets for Bacall that he does a similar move off the glass, really far from the net. He's able to knock it down. Opena right to the rim. Blocked by Genti. And that one's going to be taken up by Emil Carr.
For 3.
And that one missing for La Cite. Up to Opena. Opena inside to Webster. Webster around off the glass. And it's good here for the Wolves. As that's Iggy Reneza here, who will take that one up with Genti taking this one here. For 3. Not able to get that one to fall. Brown.
Brown 2-on-1, able to circumvent that.
Webster outside to Hawkshaw. Hawkshaw sending it right back to Brown. Brown, a couple dribbles here. Screen from Holder. Goes around it. 10 seconds left in the shot clock. Webster inside the paint goes. And that will be a foul against La Cite. And head coach Namari Cohn does not agree with that one. As Jahidi Webster to the free throw line.
Seth,
for the Wolves.
Who I'm surprised we're not seeing a lot. We're not seeing a lot of McGovern. He's a very strong player. I'd like to say very fast. He's able to shoot those threes, able to get those layups, but he hasn't been on the court all night. I don't know if he's injured. I mean, he seems healthy to me from up here. He's one of my favorite players to watch. Always plays really fast. Second free throw.
It's good for the Wolves, as there will be a substitution as Nzanze is on the court for Ilunga. And it will be a timeout here. Wolves lead by 4, 34-30. And head coach Namari Cohn wants an explanation on the last call. We'll be right back. Short timeout break. And we're back here as the Wolves are leading by 4 against the La Cite Coyotes. Lucas, so far, La Cite's been kind of down here, haven't been able to get much going in recent times, but you know, you gotta go with Bacall and Genty. Genty's at the start of the game was really the guy for them. So hopefully they can get something going here as they're down by 4 now. Algonquin is on the defense to start it off here. And Zanze off here to his teammate, number 13, Bezderno Amelkar. Amelkar able to knock that one down. Brown with the help from Holder on the screen. Opena. Once again, Holder with the nice screen from the elbow. It's good for Opena. And Opena getting a bucket for his team. And Milkar. That one gets tipped up by Opena. Genty just outside the elbow for 2, and that one hits the top of the backboard. And it will be Algonquin who will take possession. 2:31 remaining in this second quarter as Webster's pass goes way over Opena's head, and that's something La Cite did 3 times in the first quarter, and that's not something Algonquin is known for, Lucas. We don't see much of that as Aiden Galani on the court for Jahidi Webster.
Yeah, no, we don't see a lot of these forced errors, you know, these bad penalties that you'd say. Hopefully nothing much will come of it. 14 seconds on the shot clock.
Bacall airballs the 3, and it's saved here as Brown, hard at the rim, gets blocked. And it will be a foul call against La Cite. Brown gets a shot blocked there. Nice pass to move it up from Opena. But it will be a foul call against the Coyotes and Albert Opena at the free throw line. 71.4% from the line, Lucas. We know he's good, and he's able to get the first one to go. He's good at the line. He's a great player for this squad here, playing in 6 games so far this year, 18.2 points a game average. So you know he can able to get stuff done as La Cite, number 30, Prince Quinzira on the court for the first time, and it will be a timeout. La Cite. Lucas, what does La Cite need to do in this last 2 minutes to be able to close down this Algonquin 6-point lead?
Well, every game is won by defense. You don't let any of the shots in, but we need more offense to be had here. Every time La Cite's been on offense, I feel they've just turned the ball over for pennies on the dollar.
Yeah, and La Cite averaging 65.1 points a game, and Algonquin 5 more at 70 points a game. The the stats from both of these teams are pretty equal. Field percentage per game for La Cite, 35.2 from the field, 41.4 for Algonquin. From 3, Algonquin 29.1, La Cite 25.2. Free throws were 59% for La Cite and 63 for Algonquin. Both these teams rebounding at high number, 36 for Algonquin, 32 for La Cite, and both these teams averaging 14 assists for Algonquin and 15 assists for the La Cite Coyotes. So these teams are pretty similar in the stats here. Just one team has 0 wins and the other one has 3.
You know what you can't write on paper, Seth, is this court-side awareness we're seeing here from the Wolves. Just great awareness for passing the ball up the court to try and get an open net.
Inside. Holder can't block. Igiranaza's shot here, and that floats it in. 4-2. Igiranaza able to get another 2-point jumper for his team. Nice floater. He tried to do it earlier, wasn't able to get it. And Igiranaza, was able to knock that one for his team and cut the lead down to 4. And just want to point out there's a mispronunciation with the names for both these teams. I apologize. I will get the names correctly as soon as possible. Thank you for your patience and collaboration here with us as Hover gets the rebound up to Opena. Inside to Hawkshaw, floating it up, and he misses that one as Amilcar with the rebound. And it will be a travel here, and that's a costly mistake here for La Cité. Algonquin takes it from the baseline, 1:31 remaining, and we're going to see for the first time here tonight, James Capello on here for Jahidi Webster. So Hawkshaw, Brown, Holder, Opena, and Capello on for the Wolves.
On the 3 line.
So 2 very tall players here with Capello and Holder. Inside to Nzanze, and that one falls for another 2 for the Coyotes. Opena. Couple bounces, try to get inside to Capello. That one can't go. Picked right up by Hawkshaw. Hawkshaw. Couple dribbles, guarded very closely here. Capello outside to Opena. Screen with Capello. Opena's using that one inside the paint. He goes, and that's picked off here. Iggy Reneza drops it in for 2. Game tied up at 38 all.
Getting a whistle blown here.
It will be a whistle here, as it will be Algonquin who will move up the ball. Brown directing traffic. He's moving it.
35 on the clock here until halftime.
Capello outside the 3-point line is Opena. That will be a foul called against Amilcar. And Amilcar with his 3rd foul of the night, as his team is looking to get the lead here. But Algonquin's at the free throw line. That's Opena. Opena 2 for 2 on his singular trip to the line. Make this his 2nd one. Let's see if he can go 4 for 4 on the night.
Brown is off the court for now.
As he makes his 1st one here, as number 5 for Algonquin, Arian Castro makes his 1st appearance on the court, with Opena making his 2nd free throw. Arian Castro moving well, guarding Iggy Renaza. Iggy Renaza puts it up. That one missing the net. And Zanze outside to Genti.
Little travel call. 12.2 seconds on the clock here. It's going to be Wolves possession. We have McGovern finally in the box here for a sub.
And your boy here, McGovern, in the game for the Wolves. That's Capello's off. Let's see here, 12.2 seconds. Shot clock is off. Algonquin up by 2. They move it up. Hawkshaw guarded by Genti. Puts it up. That will be a foul against La Cité. And Genti picking up his 1st foul of the night.
8.5 seconds on the clock. 40 for the Wolves, 30 for La Cité, with a possibility of a 2-point increase coming up.
First one falls for Hawkshaw, as Hawkshaw 56% from the line. He's looking to make his 2nd one with Jeremiah Thompson ready to sub on the court for his 1st appearance here tonight. The 2nd one is a miss. Holder can't get that one. And Amilcar will get it up here. And that one is way over Nzanze's head here, as we're seeing number 23, Hampton Emma, in the game here for the 1st time for La Cité. 2 seconds left. Shots up for Opena, and that one hits the back of the rim. And that's it for the 1st half. 41-38. Algonquin lead by 3. And we talked about points per quarter last time they played in October. La Cité first quarter, 20 points compared to Algonquin, 17. Now second quarter, 24 for Algonquin, 18 for La Cité. So both these teams well in there. A couple mistakes here from La Cité, giving up chances to score is really the reason why they're down only by 3. But Algonquin, they started when they started getting the pace up and getting players the ball, moving the ball, getting those passes that they need. Stuff is going good for them, but they just got to keep playing the Algonquin Wolves basketball brand.
Well, what's upsetting to see here, if I was a La Cité fan, is they just keep turning the ball over for no reason. They go for these Hail Mary shots thinking they can make it, but it's just turned over for free. And the Holder, they can't deal. They don't have many tall players here on La Cité. Can't deal with Holder, can't deal with DeCello or whatever. Capello, my bad.
Especially when both of them on their court at the same time. You have a 6'8", 6'6", Haven Holder, as well as a 6'8", James Capello. That's a lot of height down low. First half stats, we mentioned 41-38 for Algonquin. From the field, 35% for La Cité and 30% for Algonquin. Algonquin shooting a lot, 43 shots in the first half. La Cité 37. Algonquin only making 2 of their 9 3-point shots. La Cité 3 of 11. We talked about fouls. 13 fouls for La Cité, 9 for the Wolves. The big thing for me here is the amount of rebounds for both of these teams. 24 out for Algonquin, 20 for La Cité. Both these teams are really fighting for their chance to get those rebounds, and that's something they got to do. Both these teams got to win the paint battle. They got to rebound very well. They can't let no easy entry. There's a couple times that we're seeing and Zanze get easy entries. We're seeing Genti get easy entries, and that's not something you want to do if you're Algonquin too much here. From your point of view, what does La Cité have to do to get their first win of the year here in the second half of this one?
Well, I've been mentioning it all night. He's my favorite player. Holder, deal with him. You mentioned 11 three-pointers shot by La Cité. More three-pointers, you don't have to deal with Holder. Just play on the outside, play on the 3-line. Try and overcommit defenders, because when a Holder's out on the court, he always has at least 2 guys on him at once.
Suber Bakal, number 20 for La Cité, leading his team with 13 points. Sheen Brown with 10 points, leading his squad in that category. 41-38, Wolves lead by 3. Exciting second half here. One team looking to get their first win. One team looking to keep climbing up in the East Division. We'll be right back after halftime. Don't go anywhere. Bonjour, bienvenue au broadcast. Hi, and welcome back to the broadcast. I'm Seth Poirier. Alongside me is Lucas Gallen. Lucas, halftime, what was said, what was done, what's the adjustments need to make for the second half for La Cite?
I think, like we mentioned before going into halftime, La Cite needs to stop letting these turnovers, these offensive turnovers happen. Need to stop getting these bad fouls, and we need to see more offense. We need to circumvent Haven Holder here. Such a strong, tall player. Not anybody here to match on La Cite. You know, it's still a tight match. Down by 3, anything can happen going into the third.
And Algonquin, they're up by 3. They've been playing good recently. What do they have to really focus on to keep the pressure on this Coyotes team?
Well, they need to focus on their, belligerent offense they have and great courtside, awareness here. They're able to pass the ball halfway down the court because they see a player's open. Not many teams have that, knowledgeability.
And we are set here for the second half as Algonquin going right to left in their white uniforms and La Cite going left to right in their blue uniforms as we get set for the second half of the Battle of Ottawa, the second game of the men's basketball season. Battle of Ottawa as Callum Russell starts the second half off with a bang right there as he gets the steal and the layup to fall, 41-40. Opena trying to lob it to Holder, can't get that. Thomas with a nice attempt to put it up over and in, but can't get there as La Cite Genty down the paint. Too hard of a pass to his teammate Emil Carr, and that will be a turnover, and Algonquin back on with possession here.
Getting the throw-in coming through. Moving down the court, but that's going to be a foul.
Foul against Russell here. Russell and the coaching staff for this La Cite team is not liking that call, and they not liking a couple calls here today on both sides as Russell picks up his second foul.
Over to Brown.
Brown moving up here from the pass from Galani. Brown outside to Thomas. Thomas spins his way through the paint. His shot does not fall. Rebound by Emil Carr. Russell moving it up inside to Genty. Genty. And that will be no and one. That basket does not count. Travel call. Great defense by Galani there, Lucas.
That was some great defense, you're right. But again, we're seeing the Wolves right now, start of the third, the rebounds just aren't there. We're not really picking up on these rebounds, but hopefully that'll change.
Foul call against Bakar here, leading scorer for this La Cite squad. Gets his third foul of the night as Thomas to the line here for Algonquin. 45.8% on the field as Algonquin keeps putting pressure on La Cite. As we see here,
Throw
ready
is up.
to keep it going. Frank Thomas, number 14, first trip to the free throw line, and he is able to get that one to fall here. And Russell, nice bucket by him as he does not let Algonquin take any time off on the defensive side. Opena driving in, almost loses control, throws it back. Opena saves it from being a backcourt violation. What a play by Brown. Could have been a costly mistake by Opena. Thomas, screen by Galani for 3. Can't make that one. And La Cite with Bakar on the rebound, pushing it up. Nice move behind the back, and it will be a foul call against Algonquin, and Trevor Costello does not like that call one bit, Lucas.
It's 43-42. The one thing that the Algonquin coaching staff is notable for is being, having their heart in the right place, and that's right in the game. Throw-ins in.
Bakar floats it up. Foul call here against Algonquin. That's Galani with the foul there as Galani picks up his third foul of the night.
43 to 42 here. Able to possibly even things out, if not get a lead off of this free throw.
To the free throw line is Carl Nzanze, 43.8% from the line. Sorry, that's Bakar here. My apologies. Bakar at the line for La Cite. Opena from 3, makes that one, and gives his team the lead back. Nice lead pass. Russell to Bakar. That one can't fall. Opena fast with the ball in his hands. Brown picks it up. Couple of dribbles. Opena thought about the 3, driving it in. Brown outside to Thomas for 3. Bang! Nice ball movement from the Wolves. And Thomas drains that 3 as Algonquin goes back-to-back 3 with Opena and now Thomas. One of the biggest lead on the night with 6 points here. 49-43, Algonquin lead. Russell going inside, down low, outside here. And Zanze for 3, missing that shot. Rebound by Brown. Brown moving it up. Opena for 3. That one missing. He gets his own rebound, gets inside the paint. Can't get that layup to go. Galani gets the ball knocked out of his hands. And Zanze, nice move by him as Brown takes a seat on the bench. And McGuader on for the Wolves.
So McGovern, Seth, you should learn better. But we're getting a throw in here. Is off the holder on the far wing here. On the 3 line, dribbling. Moving into the paint. Apologies, Seth has corrected my pronunciation of his name, but we get a nice sink.
Opena gets it 3 to fall, and it's a foul against Nzanze. And Opena can get the rare 4-point play here as missed that call. My apologies. Wanted to confirm with the producers the name pronunciation as Opena missing that free throw.
Up in the paint.
Russell once more. Callum Russell, he's been very impressive for this La Cite squad. Able to get 6 points here, but he's moving the ball very well. Opena asking for the screen from Holder, using it. Gives it right to him. Opena's pass almost not able to get to Holder. Holder's able to get it. He's passing inside to Brown. Brown gets fouled by Emilcar, and Brown will get to the free throw line for the first time tonight as Brown is 66.7% from the free throw line.
Brown's a very powerful player, always there on the offense, able to identify his open players, but I think we're getting a little offside coaching here.
As Emilcar takes a seat and Ulonga will get in the game here for La Cite.
52 to 45, the lead is deepening for the Wolves. Brown with the second. And sinks her in.
That one here.
53.
He missed the first one. Russell, guarded by Brown. Hands it off to Genty. Genty spins off of Brown. Inside the paint he goes. Floats it off the glass. Rebound by Galani. Opena moving it up. McGuader on the outside for 3. Missing that one. Rebound by Bakar.
Great
Bakal,
offense from McGuader. My apologies to this all these times that I've been mispronouncing his last name. I'm sure he'll forgive me. For 2.
Ilongov able to get that jumper. As we do apologize to the Algonquin and the La Cite fans if we mispronounce names. As Opena from deep. Off the rim it goes there. Foul called. I'm not sure who is on as of right now.
We'll see shortly. As a holding 2 free throws.
As Holder off for Webster. Webster's going to be on here.
Foul was on Callum Russell. Russell Callum.
As a timeout is called here on the court, your Ottawa Senators, who needed wins badly, are up.
Seth, I wouldn't spoil it. I wouldn't
4-0.
spoil it for the folks at
we
home.
have to do it.
You can't. You gotta give them a warning so they can tune it out.
No. There's no warning. I appreciate people tuning into our game, but the Senators are playing New York Rangers right now, and Lucas mentioned we're up 4-0. I didn't know he wanted me to keep it a secret.
Yeah,
I didn't know
a
it
nice
was a
thing to
secret.
do, you know.
Yeah, but I have to. Like when the Blue Jays were playing, we had to give a little
You
bit.
know what's not a nice thing? Yesterday, big win, 2-1 for the Sens. I was there watching it. What were you doing? Not watching it, yeah.
Not watching, to be honest with you. Probably went to bed early, starting school, back at it. But listening to TSN 1200 this week, was listening. AJ Jakubek was mentioning Sens need to win, and able to get a win last night, and they're looking pretty good as of right now, but you never know what could happen here, as we saw some big comebacks in all sports. Green Bay up.
Don't
21.
talk about Green Bay. Stop.
I had to.
Stop. No.
I had to.
For the folks at home, I am a Packers fan. Seth, this guy's a devil. Enough other sports right now. We're at the new year. First game back, Algonquin. 53-47. Free throws coming right up.
Aiden Galani at the line here, 41.9% from the line here.
So evil, Seth. You know that?
As Galani first trip to the line. Or not going to be, or it's going to be a, not too sure exactly what's happening, Lucas. Do you have any thought about what's happening here? I don't know. I've seen Galani came up, and now it looks like I'm not sure if we're in a timeout still, but it looks like the refs are talking about this something right here.
They're talking to the La Cite coach right now. They might have challenged the call, might have been really upset about the call, and decided to, change what was said, but I'm not too sure. Might be warning him. But the
Penna's at the line.
Coaches here can get very aggressive when it comes to these calls. Penna shoots, and it's good.
So that one's able to fall. I do believe that it has something to do with a technical foul, if I'm not mistaken, Lucas. I don't know if you can give a better answer to that if you have anything about that, but I'm not 100% sure here. I just see foul by La Cite, and then foul by team. So they gave it a bench foul, it looks like, as of right now. Something like that in that realm.
I think it was a bench foul, but so far 2 out of the 3 free throws, only 2 are good. 55-47, La Cite on the offense.
Ilonga back to Russell here. Russell on the Wolves logo, guarded by Brown. Russell's able to switch off to McGuader. He falls down. Back to Ilonga it goes.
5 seconds on the shot clock. Shoots.
Missing that one. Far right off the backboard. Brown. McGuader here. McGuader outside to Opena. Opena a couple step backs, but doesn't shoot that. Webster. Galani inside to McGuader. McGuader spins. Loses control. Puts it up off the glass, and it falls for 2. Algonquin, 10-point lead. Biggest lead of the night for either team. Algonquin really putting on a show here in recent minutes.
Yeah, this is where they might start to lose it here. La Cite, the mental's down. Even you're down by 10 points, it's looking rough.
Nice job by Brown coming in with that hand on Bacall. A deep 3. Missed by Longa. Rebound by McGuader. Up goes Opena. Opena driving inside. Puts it off the... Thought he was going to put off the glass there, but he decides to finger roll that one in the bucket for 2. 59 points for the Wolves. 1 more point to hit that 60 mark. Russell, Alonga with the screen. Russell does not use it. And Brown on the foul, and you see Trevor Costello really not liking that call.
I mean, I do agree. It looked like a soccer player out there. He just fell down. I don't think he got tripped or anything, but we'll see what the call is.
Russell off for La Cite. Indikumana on for the Coyotes as Ilonga off here.
That foul was on Brown there. See this throw in. 2-on-1.
Double team by Galani McGuater. As Trevor Costello gets very frustrated with McGuater on that double team. They were trapping Bacall when he got the ball there, Lucas. And that's what you want to do, you need to do, but McGuater a little too handsy right there.
I mean, I'm loving the aggression here from the Wolves, but we might be able to dial it back a little bit. We see Seth hitting a little jig here. Brown coming in.
Brown puts it up with the foul from Genty there. And Brown will go to the free throw line for the second time here tonight as the Wolves up big with just under 4 minutes here.
Brown misses his first free throw. Unfortunate, it is 59-47 for the Wolves.
Let's see if he can make a second one here
For 60.
right now. And he can't get that one to fall.
Far wings.
Bacall, nice crossover around Brown. Brown with a nice move defensively, able to get Bacall to lose the ball there. And Zanze able to put it up off the glass to get a well-needed points, I should say, for La Cité. Brown goes down and up. Foul call. Brown right back to the line where he was just there not long ago. Third trip to the line. 1 of 4 as of right now. Let's see if he can get a couple more to fall here.
Yeah, I was going to say we are up by 10, and they've already given out a technical foul this game, so maybe the Wolves bench might want to silence their he's and their haws. You know, they can be very, the officials can be very, what's the word that I'm looking for, Seth?
I don't know
On
if we
point.
Can, okay, well, we'll go with that. We'll go with that. Brown missing his second free throw there.
Missing the second and the first.
Daniel Indikumana thought about going up. That three-point shot is good from E.G. Roneza.
Only down by 7.
Brown outside to Opena. McGuater bounce pass to Brown. Brown outside to Opena. Opena right at the free throw line. Good for 2.
Up by 9. 61. We've reached the 60 mark. 61-52.
As La Cité's got to find some way to get some offense going here and stop this offensive powerhouse, we could say, from the Wolves in recent time in this third quarter. Brown outside to Opena. Opena thought about the 3. Check step. Puts it up. Good! Opena keeps putting it up and put those numbers that he hit. 20 points on the night. 23 for Opena. As he just keeps putting it on. Drains another one inside, trying to get to Genty, and McGuater steals that. Opena to Galani, lays it up for 2, and the Wolves are putting on the show here against La Cité. 66-52. That ball goes out of bounds. Last touch from the Coyotes here as Brown off for Thomas here. And Zanze off for La Cité. And that's number 9, Renato Jadot, on for the Coyotes. Nice play here. Genty driving in, Euro step, puts it up off the glass, missing this one. Rebound by Jadot. Jadot trapped here, and it's stolen by Thomas. Thomas to McGuater. McGuater up and over he goes, missing that one. No foul on that attempt. Genty outside for 3. Airballs that shot. Thomas with the rebound. Thomas pushing it up here. Galani inside the paint. McGuater thought about the 3. He'll drive it in. Galani for 2. Makes that one. Great shot from Aiden Galani, making this game 68-52.
Almost hitting the double digits. Going to lap them here, Seth. You know, I think the Wolves, like I said, the second half is where the real game begins, and it's looking like La Cité's falling behind.
Rebound by Thomas off the Igurineza miss. Foul called against La Cite. Thomas will go to the line as foul called against Andy Kumana, I do believe. Hampton Emma in the game for Genty. And Frank Thomas to the free throw line for his second time here tonight. 2 for 2. Missing his first one. As we're approaching the end of the third quarter, 57.9 seconds remaining. Thomas, one dribble, puts it up, missing that one. Rebound by Webster. Webster, he gets fouled himself. Way to get that rebound, fighting underneath, and that's why he's where he is on the free throw attempt.
Finding another free throw here, 68-52. Looking a little dark for La Cite. Hopefully some switch-up can happen when the transition from the third to the fourth, but only time will tell. Sinks the first free throw here, 55.8 on the clock.
Webster knocking that one in.
Shooting for 70.
Missing that one. He can't get the rebound. He'll get called on the foul, I do believe.
This is just foul after foul after foul. Moving to the other end of the court here for a shoving call. It's going to be for 2.
So it will be, exactly, there will be a free throw attempt here as Frank Thomas 2 for 4 on the night. Webster 3 of 6 for himself, as that first shot is a miss from Jadot. And Renato Jadot making a second shot at the line. That was his first trip. He's now 1 for 2.
Just decreasing the deficit by just that much. 48 on the clock here, moving up into the paint, the Wolves.
Thomas tried to get to McGuater. That gets intercepted by Iggy Reneza. He moves it up and he can't get it to Hampton Emma. And Emma not able to save that one from going out of bounds. Thomas almost lost the handle on that one. Past half court he goes. Thomas hands off to Opena. Opena with Jadot guarding him. Inside he goes. Outside McGuater for 3. Missing that one. Rebound by Thomas. Thomas pushing his way inside. Puts it up. Will not count. Travel call. La Cite takes control here. 18.2 seconds remaining in the third quarter.
I'm hoping to see more, action from La Cite heading into the fourth. Right now, 69-53.
McGuater off here as Arian Castro in the game for his second time. Iggy Reneza receives that handoff from Indu Kumana. 5 seconds left on the shot clock, and it will be Algonquin's ball. With 4.2 seconds left on the clock, shot clock is turned off. Let's see what Algonquin has in store for this last 4 seconds. We saw it at the end of the first quarter, I do believe. La Cite had a buzzer beater. Can't get a buzzer beater here as Algonquin leading big here, 69-53. Lucas, what's your take on that third quarter? Because for me personally, before you go 15 points only in that quarter to Algonquin's 28. So Algonquin almost doubled what La Cite had in that quarter.
Seth, the song playing right now, Not Like Us. In this situation, Algonquin is Kendrick and La Cite is Drake. They haven't been producing any offense in this half, or more, my apologies, in this quarter. The second half has been very brutal for La Cite. I want to see more offense. 69-53, almost lapping them, not once, not up by 10, but almost up by 20.
100% here. Lucas, we will be back here after this intermission of third to fourth quarter, and we'll have the last 10 minutes of this game to see who will be crowned the champion of Ottawa here. Hopefully Algonquin come out with it. We'll see you guys in a bit.
Whoa.
And we're back here, last 10 minutes of this one. Peter Jokai and Hawkshaw in the game. We haven't seen them in a while with Galani and Thomas, as well as Opena, Russell, Genty, Emilcar, Bakal, and Alonga in the game for La Cite. First shot, miss from La Cite. Peter Jokai moves it up to Thomas, and that cannot be controlled by Hawkshaw down low. So La Cite will take it over here. Lucas, La Cite, they got to figure out something in the last quarter here if they want to try to get their first win of the year.
It's going to be figured out. It's going to be figured out fast here, Seth, because this offense and defense from the Wolves has been unstoppable. For three, nothing but air. 69-53. Next shot will be for 70.
Let's see if they can get to 70, as they do average 70.2 points a game, so they can go above their average if they can get one jumper to fall here. Opena, handoff from Peter Jokai. Opena for three. Bang! What a shot from Albert Opena. He's putting on a show here. 26 points for him, as Algonquin goes over their points total per game, and there's still 9 minutes remaining in this one.
For three.
That one's good for La Cite. Genty knocking down. Hits three. He said, Opena, you can do that, but watch what I can do. And they trade back-to-back threes. Opena with a fadeaway too. He's put on the show here, dancing all over La Cite right now. 28 points for him.
Moving up into the paint here for a layup.
Russell can't get that one to fall. Rebound by Galani. Galani up to Opena. Opena, pull-up jumper, missing that one. Rebound by Thomas. He puts it up, missing himself. Emilcar, move it up to Russell. Russell has Bakal on his left, decides to send it back to Ilonga. Emilcar for three, missing that one. Peter Jokai with the rebound. He moving up past half on the Wolves logo. Handoff to Opena. Opena for three. Bang!
That's what, twice in a row, 3 times?
Albert Opena, 31 points on the night, and we're still 8 minutes left to go. Will he get to 40, Lucas?
Will we get to 80 on the clock here? We'll see. 77-56. La Cite with possession, dropping it in the paint.
Missing that one is Bakal. Galani with the rebound. Galani bouncing it up, setting it to Peter Jokai. Peter Jokai gets around the milk cart. Galani here. Hawkshaw thought about the three. Inside he goes. Floats it up. Can't get down to fall. Galani can't get the rebound, and it will be La Cite's ball. Last touch by the Wolves. 7:17 left to go. Algonquin up by 21 here. Biggest lead of the night. As Genty inside attacking Peter Jokai. He draws the foul.
We get the travel call before the Wolves would have shoved him to the ground. I'm thankful for that. 77-56. Getting a throw in action here for the Wolves to Opena.
Opena here. Crossover. Almost getting double teamed here. Over to Hawkshaw. Hawkshaw. Nice dribbles going inside the paint. Puts it up. Gets fouled. And he will get to the free throw line as PJ Hawkshaw, 3 for 5 on the night, looking to make that 5 of 7. Let's see if he's able to here.
Getting some substitutions coming in on La Cite.
Number 24, Carl Nzanze on the court for Bezdarno Emilcar, as well as Daniel Indikumana is on with Bakal, Russell, and Genti. So hopefully this squad can get something going for La Cite. Thomas, Galani, Hawkshaw, Opena, and Peter Jokai on the court for the Wolves.
And folks, for the Senators game, we are about 4 minutes into the second period here. 60 minutes on the clock. No news for the Senators, 4-0.
But see, I was the one that gave the news too early, but we keep bringing it up.
I'm allowed to give the news, okay? I'm Mr. News.
I got you. Russell to Bakal here, guarded by Thomas. Bakal outside the three-point line, driving inside the paint, leaves it off for Genti. Genti putting it up off the glass, can't go. Rebound by Opena.
Opena getting 3-on-1 there, but manages to sneak his way out.
Opena finding his open teammate. He'll put up for an easy 2 as he lays it in over the top as he's going backwards. What a shot by him. 33 on the night.
We've hit 80 on the clock here.
Galani down the lane for 2. All around the world it goes. And all around the world we say the Wolves have hit 80 points on the night. 6:09 remaining. Timeout is called here. Lucas will be right back in less than a minute. Don't go anywhere. And we're back here, 82-56 as they adjusted the score here. The Wolves putting on the show in front of these fans. First game of the new year. Looking pretty good if you're a Wolves fan or if you're a Wolves student. I know I'm pretty happy as the Wolves are doing right now. Russell moving it up. Hands it off to Genti. Genti off to Ndikumana for 3. Bang! What a shot by Daniel Ndikumana! Right off the top of the three-point line. Had room, he takes it. Gives life for his team here late. Peter Jokai can't handle that one, and La Cite take control. They're going fast, 5:43 left in the fourth and final quarter. Callum Russell guiding this team here, passing half court, guarded by Hawkshaw. Ndikumana thought about the 3. He'll drive it in. He'll put it up off the glass. Missing that one. Grabs his own rebound. Puts it up. Back-to-back buckets for Daniel Ndikumana. 82-61. Wolves got to find a way to respond defensively. They just gave up 5 quick, easy points. Peter Jokai to Thomas here. Thomas outside to Hawkshaw. Hawkshaw down the lane. Missing that one. Rebound by Bakal. Bakal up to Ndikumana. Ndikumana, nice pass inside to Nzanze.
It's looking rough here for the Wolves. Back-to-back points from La Cite.
Hey, that's 7 points for La Cite. Nzanze with the last bucket there. Rebound by Ndikumana. Ndikumana is pushing it up here for the Coyotes. Bakal, big block by Hawkshaw, denying that Bakal entry to the rim. 4:40 left to go. Opena to Galani here, inside to Peter Jokai. What a pass. Peter Jokai puts it up. Offensive foul called on Peter Jokai Indy Kumana coming up big for his team in the last minute. Getting the 3, getting the bucket to fall, and getting the offensive foul called on Peter Jokai as Opena takes a break here as Brown on the court. And Zanze off for La Cite with ML Carr on the court for them.
Peter Jokai, one of those players who's just not afraid to play basketball like it's football, an O-line.
Genti to Andy Kumana. Thought about the 3, but Thomas guarded him very closely. Inside pass to ML Carr for 2. That one bounced around, can't go in. Foul called here. And it will be Algonquin who will remain possession here as Leslie gets called on the foul.
Seeing more emoting coming from the La Cite bench. Senators just scored another goal in the last 30 seconds here. It was Sanderson. Sorry, Stas, I have to keep the fans updated.
Brown. Outside to Galani. Galani for 3. In and out it goes. Russell to Indy Kumana. Indy Kumana to the rim. In and out it goes. Back up is Bakal. And Bakal able to get that one to fall. 82-65. Wolves need to control this.
4 minutes on the clock, Seth.
Big lead that they've created for themselves. Hawkshaw outside to Thomas. Thomas for 3 here.
Oh.
Just hits the rim and out as Genti pushing it up with speed here with Thomas. He puts it up and it falls for Genti. And Genti getting his 15th point of the night. And the Wolves here looking back and letting a lot of points going here for La Cite as La Cite has 67 points as of right now. Brown outside of Thomas. Thomas gets fouled by Russell.
It's going to be a holding call. Seeing the bench coming out here for the Wolves.
And Russell gets his 6th foul, I do believe.
That's nowhere near as much as Thomas's fouls. Coming in at
Or is that
3.
only his 5th foul? It's only his 5th foul. It looks like it just Russell sat on the bench. So I didn't know if the timeout called or if he was out and there was a timeout called here. So we will go to a break. 82-67. Algonquin lead. And we're back after that timeout. 3:04 left in this one.
Still looking like anybody's game here, Seth, but how's the saying go? It ain't over until the fat lady sings. 3:04 on the clock, 82-67. Was almost as high as a 30-point lead. Now it's ever encroaching to 15. Throw in.
Thomas here will send it off to Brown. The Wolves just looking for this time to go down for them to get their 4th victory of the year. Guarded very closely at Milcar on Peter Jokai. That'll be a foul called against Milcar. And then Milcar picks up his 4th foul on the night.
I mean, from my angle, Seth, I am a Wolves fan, but it did look like he just fell down. Didn't really look like he got fouled, but you know, we don't have a review system here. After all, it is just college. So we'll take it. Wolves fans, we will take it. No complaints. 82-67 with 2 free throws coming up.
Timeout once more for La Cite. We will be right back after this quick break. And we're back here with Brown inside to Hawkshaw. That pass finds Peter Jokai. Peter Jokai, a lot of force coming down, leaves it for Galani. Galani puts it up and through for the 2-point layup. 84 points here for the Wolves. Bakal does not fall for that one. His shot cannot find the back of the net. Brown finds Thomas here. Brown here gets it right back. Floater before the block from Jadot. What a play by Brown. Nice finesse on that touch.
2:15 on the clock, 86-67. See how this offense goes for La Cite.
Genti to Bakal here. Bakal inside the paint goes outside to Genti off the 3-point line. Screen by Jadot. 4 seconds left on the shot clock. Genti for 3. Hits the rim, bounces off. Hawkshaw can save it. Galani right back to Hawkshaw. Leaves it for Brown here.
150.
Shaim Brown getting around Ilonga. Puts it up. Big block by Ilonga. But he will be called on the foul. And Shaim Brown will be sent to the free throw line once more. Brown 1 for 6 from the line. Not his best day as he usually averages 66.7%, but he's not able to get most of his shots here today as a whole new group out here with Castro, Thompson, Abdul Kadir, and Capello, with Brown shooting his free throw attempts. 1:43 left in this one as we're also seeing Gustafe Mbuamba getting ready to sub in here. Abdul Kadir for 3, just off the target. Thompson can't get that one. Jadot, 3 down the lane. Easy layup, finger roll for him. Substitution made here. Shine Brown off for the Wolves as Gustafe Mbuamba on the court. And Lucas, if you're on Instagram, you've probably seen Gustafe on Instagram. He posted a lot of content. I watched a video, I believe was this morning, about his day in the life when he gets ready in the morning, get ready to come to practice and to school. Very interesting video. So if anyone wants to check it out, check Gustafe Mbuamba Instagram. Great content out there. Let's see what he does with his first time on the court here today.
1:30 on the clock. Counting down, 88-67. On the 3 line.
Abdul Kadir off the right elbow, puts it up, floats it in, and it's good. And the Wolves keep putting on points here. 90, as they just adjust the score.
Almost 30, Seth. Almost 30 up.
100%
on the
here.
offense. 1
and
minute.
Kumana puts it up off the glass, missing that one.
10 on the shot clock.
And that one does not fall. So now with 51 seconds, it will be a free throw attempt here for La Cite.
Pretty exciting night so far, Seth. I'm loving this back and forth, but ultimately, I don't want to jinx the Wolves here, but it is looking like an open and shut case. Moving up on the offense.
It does look like that here as the Wolves are not looking the best here with, they've been playing really well here, and this is the new group coming in. But I meant to say La Cite's not playing their best, not Algonquin, but La Cite has put some great points here, and Daniel Ndukumana is able to come in here early on in the fourth quarter, dropping some nice points, getting some nice stops defensively, but his team was not able to get stuff going. And my apologies on the name here. I got for some reason the roster compared to what was online was different, and number 4 is Noah Otabor, not Gustave. So my apologies there to Otabor. But nothing less, Gustave still has his content online. But Otabor is in the game, number 4, as he puts it up for his first point. What a play by him, as you see the crowd get on their feet and get electric off that one. What a play by Gustave Otabor.
92-70, up by 22.
Noah Otabor playing great defense here on
5 on the
Jadot.
clock, shoots for 2.
2 seconds left.
And that should be the game, Seth.
Otabor rebounds that one, sends it across to Arian Castro, and that's game. 92-70. Once again, I apologize on behalf of me and Lucas if the names from Algonquin and La Cite aren't pronounced exactly how it is. We're rusty coming off the break. We will get better, don't worry. We have 4 other home games. We will get better, don't worry about that. Great game. Thank you for coming out. If you're in the stands, thank you for tuning in to this incredible Battle of Ottawa, as Algonquin able to get both games this year as they are crowned the 6-1-3 men's basketball champions. Lucas, what do you think about today's game on the part of La Cite?
I think, like I mentioned earlier, getting that rust off in the first half for the Wolves, and after that it was a steamroll. The snowball just kept on rolling down the hill, and it could not be stopped with a 22-point lead to end it off, almost as high as a 30-point lead during that third and fourth.
And what do you think Algonquin did good today that got them the 22-point win here?
I think it was enabling their good players. We were talking about Holder. He's always up in there. We're talking about Brown. Brown, great player, able to have that courtside awareness, being able to enable those players, and even Opena coming in with how many points, Seth?
Opena, 33 points, 11 of 25 from the field, 6 of 14 from three-point range, 5 of 5 from the free throw line, 8 rebounds, 2 assists. You can't say anything more about Opena. He's been the guy for them. Sheen Brown, 13 points, Galani, 11. On the other side, La Cite, Bakal and Genti both finished with 16, and Zanze finished with 11 points, him as well. A lot of good from this game. Algonquin able to get a great win that they needed to go up here in 4-6 on the year, as La Cite falls to 0-10. If this is how Algonquin's going to play basketball the rest of the year, it's going to be really great as they make a push to get closer to that number 1 seed as close as possible as they can, so we could possibly have them host a playoff game here in Ottawa at the Jack Doyle Recreational Center. From everyone from the Students Association, thanks for tuning in. I'm Seth Poirier. Alongside me is
Lucas Gowan, the one and only, folks.
And we will see you guys Saturday for volleyball. Have a good night. Have a good week.